Thank you, Steve, and I hope this microphone isn't up too loud. We may have to make an adjustment. I get pretty excited. I can tell you I am excited. I'm enthusiastic. My adrenaline's flowing. It feels like game day for me. And I'm just really excited to be here this afternoon. I want to thank Craig, and I want to thank Stefan, and again, Bear and Country Club Bank for sponsoring this lunch. And I also have to give some thanks before I get started for people that really helped with putting this program together. We have Katie Killen, who is the assistant to the city manager, and myself. Katie, are you here? Please stand and be recognized. And then also Bridget Mosier, who is our computer specialist, and she's helped us a great deal on putting this program together. Bridget, please stand and be recognized. And then we also have Vicki Charlesworth, who is our deputy city manager, and she's done a fantastic job with helping with today's event, where Vicki's not here. And then, of course, Carol Gonzalez, our city manager, who just is outstanding in her job and what she does for the city, along with our whole staff and our employees, as you're going to hear today. Please give them all a big hand. I want to introduce myself, though, some extraordinary people in my life, and I need to get that out of the way because they're so important to me. My youngest daughter, Brenna, please stand, Brenna. I told her, I said, well, it's great to be able to have you come back and hear me give my State of the City speech. And she said, Dad, this will be my first time. She goes, I was in high school for 4 years, and you and Mom wouldn't let me out of school to come listen to you. And the last 4 years, she was at K-State going to school. So this is her first time getting to see her father in this kind of situation, giving the State of the City address. So it's great to have Brenna here. My oldest daughter, Caitlin. Stand, Caitlin. And again, Caitlin's been here more than a couple times, and you've all gotten to meet her before. They're both doing fantastic. Caitlin works for a company called Prairie Global. Global Prairie. Global. And she'll correct me every time. And Brenna works for a company called Rainmaker Graphics. So they're very special to me, and they are extraordinary. And then I have to introduce my wife, Susie. Please stand, Susie. And I call her super extraordinary. Anytime you have to live with a person and be married to them for close to 31 years, and especially when it's myself, that is quite extraordinary. And thank you, Susie, for all your support and all you do for me. So, today, our theme is Be Extraordinary. And it's something that when I was putting together the State of the City speech, I got very excited about, because this was the same theme that I had for my football team this year. I said we need to strive to be extraordinary. And being extraordinary is about making choices. And I told my team members, I said, you make the decision whether you're going to be positive or negative. You make the decision with your choices each and every day of what type of person you're going to be. Well, it's no different for us in the city. It's no different for us as parents, as individuals, as residents of a community. Being extraordinary is about making choices. And I am so excited to give this State of the City speech, because we are so extraordinary here in this community we call home, the city of Shawnee. You have lots of little gifts on your table this morning, and the most important one that I think is the little wristband that, if you'll read, it says, Be Extraordinary. And I wear it, and I know when I go back to school, I'm going to have about 140 football players who are going to say, Coach, where do we get those? Because they've had it pounded in their head. That's the teacher and coach of me to teach kids what I want them to learn. It's all about experience, and it's about repetition. So bear with me today, because you're going to hear the word extraordinary many times. But for those of you that don't want to wear the band, it's for a reminder of being extraordinary. It's a great opportunity for those of you that have children to sit down and have a little talk with them and present them with a Be Extraordinary band. And you can give them the talk about what you hear about today, the importance of making choices. When you make those choices, when you make those good choices, I always tell the kids, and I'd say the same to you, it's what brings out characteristics that are going to help make us be successful. It brings out the hard work. It brings out reliability. It brings out responsibility. It causes all those things that causes us to have success, which is to do what's right, being honest and trustworthy, to do the best we can, to be committed, and to treat others the way that we want to be treated, which is caring about each other. This city is extraordinary, and I can tell you today, the state of the city of Shawnee is extraordinary. So now I'll get into my written remarks, and I'll try to not put you to sleep. There's an awful lot of information here. It's all very good, but I will get through this and give it due diligence. Thank you. This is the 8th time I stood before you as mayor and reported on the state of the city. If you have attended before, you know I never struggle for words. There are so many good things to share. I am pleased to report to you that our unemployment rate has dropped to 4.3% in 2011 from 5% at the end of 2010. Shawnee's rate is the lowest in the county, second only to Leawood. It is lower than the state's unemployment rate and is almost half the national rate of 8.3%. The value of construction for all permits issued in 2011 was up $5.2 million over 2010, and January 2012 was the best start for single-family building permits in 5 years. Gray Oaks was the most active subdivision, followed by Granite Falls, Lake Point, and Riverview. With the new Cerner offices being constructed just north of us, we are optimistic that the demand for single-family residents will increase. We have some quality subdivisions ready for builders. Additionally, we are marketing ourselves to quality multifamily developers. We believe having diverse types of housing will add to our community in the future. I am also pleased to report that sales tax revenues were up 5% over the 2011 revised budget, with total general fund revenues coming in almost 2.5% or $955,000 more than estimated. That's all pretty good stuff already, and I'm just getting started. Shawnee is extraordinary. I don't believe there's a better place to live, work, or play, or do business. I tell my high school football team, if you want to be extraordinary, you have to make good choices. For Shawnee, the path to becoming extraordinary is found in the choices we have made and will make as a community. Choices in how we use our resources, choices in protecting our assets, choices about the environment, choices about recreation, and choices about businesses. I want to introduce the council members who are here today. They are extraordinary people. These are people who make choices about what kind of city we are and what kind of city we want to be. The decisions they make are based on a great deal of information, a great deal of thought, and knowing them as I do, with only the community in mind. From Ward 1, Council Member Jim Neighbor. Please stand, Jim. From Ward 2, Council Member Neil Sawyer. From Ward 3, Council Member Don Kuhn. Also from Ward 3, Council Member Jeff Vaught. And from Ward 4, Council Member Mickey Sandiford. I'm proud to work with these council members each and every day. They do outstanding work, and as I said, they have our community's interest at heart. We have made good choices about how we use our resources. Each year during the budget, we survey other cities to give us an idea of how we are performing. It's simple. We do more with less. Shawnee consistently has fewer employees per 1,000 residents, less expenditures per square mile, and is very comparable with Overland Park on expenditures per capita. And this is a point of emphasis that I'd like to make today. Shawnee is fiscally sound. Since taking office, I've seen the city's bond rating upgraded twice to Moody's to AA1. Only 198 cities in the country have a higher rating. This rating is positive affirmation that reflects the city's careful financial planning and solid financial management practices, and it translates into favorable interest rates when we issue debt. Residents get good value for their tax dollar. For an average of $72.57 a month, the city provides police and fire services, snow removal, street maintenance, parks, trails, special events, swimming pools, traffic control, street lights, code enforcement, building inspections, and much more. To put that into perspective, the average cable customer pays $75 a month. I'm very pleased with our plan for 2012. We have allocated 55 cents out of every general operating dollar to public safety, 22 cents to public works, 11 cents to parks and recreation, 5 cents for engineering and planning services, and the remaining 7 cents for general overhead administration and the city council. I think we have done a good job of making choices the past few tight budget years. And as we begin the 2013 budget process, I'd like to get more input from our residents, possibly through a community survey, to make sure we are heading in the right direction. We are constantly looking for better ways to do things. We have discovered that sometimes less government is better. Last year, we stopped licensing cats and dogs. A long time ago, animal licensing addressed a public health issue, rabies. Today, people vaccine their animals whether the city requires it or not. Internally, our IT staff has moved us from 58 computer servers to 20, a 65% reduction. This has resulted in energy savings and reduced replacement costs to the tune of $75,000. Our finance department moved the organization payroll from paper checks to electronic direct deposit, saving time and paper. They also received a certification of excellence from the Association of Public Treasurers of the United States and Canada for the city's investment policy. Snow removal was exceptionally challenging during the winter of 2010-2011. On average, we get about 20 inches of snow each year, and we normally have to get out and treat the roads about 9 times per season. Last year, we had 33 inches of snow. The 2010-2011 winter season was the 9th heaviest snow season on record for the Kansas City area. Over the last few years, we made changes to routes and procedures to reduce expenses associated with snow removal. We now use about 318 tons of salt per storm, down from 395 tons. That's a reduction of 693 tons per season. In case you think we are out of the woods this year, in 1912, we had 20.3 inches of snow on March 23rd. Hopefully not this year. We're ready though. Public safety has always been a priority in Shawnee. You have some of the best trained and prepared public safety personnel in the country. We have made good choices about developing leadership within our organization and have been fortunate to have outstanding leaders throughout the ranks of both departments. Because of that, when Chief Morgan and Chief Hudson retired, we had the 2 best candidates for those positions in our own organization. Again, I'd like to make a point of emphasis. During this election time of year, sometimes information gets out to the public that isn't quite right.